COVID-19 health concerns. We are also offering the option for the public to participate through Zoom if preferred. Instructions on how to participate virtually are included in the city council calendar item listed on the front page of missionks.org. Please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Robin, can you please call the roll?
Thomas, Boltinghouse, Loudon, Ryard,
Here.
Kring,
Here.
Inman, Josie,
Here.
Davis,
Here.
Right, since this is a special meeting tonight, we will only be considering the items specifically listed on our agenda, all of which are related to consideration of the issuance of 2022A general obligation bonds. We have on our agenda the issuance of the 2022A general obligation bonds, which were sold via competitive sale earlier today. We will review the results of the bond sale, and then we'll have 3 separate actions to accept the bid and to authorize these bonds. Mr. Bruce Kimmel, the city's municipal advisor with Ellers, is joining us virtually this evening and will provide a report on the results of this morning's bond sale. Mr. Kimmel, would you please provide your report?
Yes, thank you, Mayor and council members. Bruce Kimmel with Ellers. Would it make the most sense for me to share my screen, or do you want to do it there, Emily?
Bruce, could we get you to talk a little louder too?
Sure. Should I share my screen?
Hank, Bruce, they have pre-sale report in front of them.
Oh, great.
So I think
Sale
if
or
everybody,
sale date?
you what?
The sale date report?
The sale date report, yes.
Very good.
So I think it's better for us to see you and they can follow along.
Okay, thank you. All right, well, with that clarification, I'm really happy to be here tonight to discuss the results of today's bond sale. As you recall, you're issuing about $6.7 million to fund both street and parks improvements. And very pleased to announce that we received 7 bids on the city's behalf at 10 this morning. The winning bid came from the Baker Group out of Oklahoma City. And why don't I actually just skip ahead to the 3rd page, which is called bid tabulation. You can see the Baker Group bid with a true interest rate of essentially 2.9%. We did receive a substantial premium bid on this bond issue. If you recall from previous bond issues, a premium bid occurs when there's a large difference between the coupon rates on the bonds and the actual yields on the bonds. And the yields are really essentially the city's borrowing costs, whereas the coupon is what's being paid to the bond holder. And so in order to get a 5% rate or a 4% rate, as you can see in the rate column, the winning underwriting firm pays the city substantially more money than the face value of the bonds. And that's what happened here. This interest rate was also substantially lower than what we had estimated. When we did our pre-sale numbers, we were really looking at some volatility and also just not wanting to overpromise and underdeliver, but we were very, very high, which is a good thing for the city to have the result be so much lower at the 2.9% interest rate. And then further on this page and the next, you can see that the other bids followed suit, 7 bids all total. And even the last place bid of about 3.4%, roughly 50 basis points higher than the winning bid, would have still been quite a bit better than what we had estimated based on market conditions about a month or so ago. So I think you really hit the market very well today, and that certainly showed up in the interest rates that we received on your behalf. Moving on to the next page. So the upshot of the premium bid is that you will have about $655,000 of additional bond proceeds that you can use toward your future streets and parks projects. If you look at the sources and uses of funds page and down under uses of funds, you can see the deposit to the project construction fund being roughly $3,850,000 for the streets portion and almost exactly $3.3 million for the parks portion. When we structured this bond issue and actually took it out to market, those target funding amounts were 3.5 million for the streets and $3 million even for the parks. So you can see how we're generating over $650,000 more. And essentially the interest or the total debt service expense to the city is almost identical to what we had estimated in the pre-sale report. That's how much of a difference these better interest rates made, is that you're able to borrow or receive another $650,000 of funding and not pay essentially any more in debt service. I will just note that I included a couple more pages. You can see the amortization, roughly $850,000 per year in total for this bond issue. And then you can see that the streets portion, I guess I included a page here with the yields as well. But then the most important pages to follow are for the streets sub-portion of the debt. You can see the debt service there will be about $460,000 per year. And then on the parks portion, it will be about $390,000 per year. And that's within your city administrator, Laura Smith's projections for what these special sales taxes can support in addition to other obligations. Do you have any questions for me about the bids received or about the final debt service numbers before I go on to the credit rating?
Any questions for Bruce? Seeing none, safe
Okay.
to go ahead.
Great. So then the last thing I just wanted to cover is the affirmation of the city's AA+ rating. And there was really no surprise there, but Laura did a great job of presenting the city's current status and your plans for projects and for your financials going forward. And it was a very smooth affirmation of the AA+, which, as you know, is only one notch lower than AAA, and is really quite good, especially for a relatively small size city like Mission is. A couple things I just wanted to note. The S&P analysts were definitely comfortable with how the city has drawn on fund balances in recent years in accordance with your budget, and that you're now currently much closer to your target fund balance under city policy. That said, they said, okay, that's great. You dialed this in, you brought it right where you want it to be, or very close to where you want it to be. Now we really need to see you stabilize that and not have any further drawdowns beyond your fund balance policy, or if there is a specific unique circumstance that requires or really merits a drawdown beyond what the fund balance policy would indicate, they would absolutely want to see a very robust plan for bringing that balance back up in the near future. So that was the only thing I wanted to note, is they're right on course with what you have been doing and what you plan to do. But now that your fund balances are near city policy levels, they would like them to stay in that neighborhood and really be stabilized for the next couple of years. Beyond that, I thought it was a pretty clean report. Nothing else really that was significant. Certainly no concerns. And they did really emphasize your strong financial management, which is one of the biggest levers on a credit rating as well. So kudos to the city council and to city staff on that front. With that, why don't I pause and see if you have any other questions? And if not, I would ask you to take up the legal items in front of you.
All right, anything for Bruce? Yeah, Debbie?
Just a quick question, Bruce. I know our financial management assessment comes out good. Are there a series of ratings, or what are the ratings besides good?
On the FMA, let me pull that back up, Councilmember Kring. I know, actually on that portion, good is the best you can do. I was thinking there was a higher number, but S&P, I don't know why they do it this way, but on some of their criteria, they have a 5 5 adverbs that they can use or adjectives. And on the FMA, good is the best aspect of the FMA subset of the credit rating.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Bruce? Seeing none, I would now entertain a motion to accept the sale of the bonds and award them to the Baker Group, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Mayor, I move the city council approve the winning bid from the Baker Group, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, with a true interest cost of 2.90001% as presented by the city's municipal advisor, Ed Ellersing.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, Robin, please call the roll.
Right,
Oh, okay, great. Thank you.
Ryard,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Kring,
Aye.
Thomas, Loudon,
Aye.
Inman, Josie,
Aye.
Boltinghouse.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, next we have an ordinance authorizing the sale of the general obligation bonds, series 2022A. I would entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move the city council approve an ordinance authorizing and providing for the insurance of the general obligation bond series 2022A.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, Robin, please call the roll.
Kring,
Aye.
Loudon,
Aye.
Josie,
Aye.
Inman, Davis,
Aye.
Boltinghouse.
Aye.
Ryard,
Aye.
Thomas.
Yes.
Motion carries.
And our last action item this evening is consideration of a resolution prescribing the form and details of the general obligation bond issue series 2022A. I would entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move the city council approve a resolution prescribing the form and details of an authorizing and directing the sale and delivery of the series 2022A bonds.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Robin, please call the roll.
Davis,
Aye.
Thomas, Inman, Boltinghouse.
Aye.
Josie,
Aye.
Kring,
Aye.
Loudon,
Aye.
Ryard.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. I would like to thank city staff, Ellers and Gilmore and Bell for working to close this issue prior to the end of the year and look forward to our important street and outdoor parks improvements that these debt proceeds will fund. That concludes our special meeting agenda for this evening. Before we adjourn, I want to share with the public that the video from this meeting will be available through a link on our website, missionks.org. There being no further action, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.